Well, for the past couple of years, I've been telling myself I need a tire machine because with all the trailers, they always kind of need tires, beat up cars, my truck, everything else like that. There's been a lot of times, the skid steer, been a lot of times that having a tire machine would have saved me a lot of time and ultimately a lot of money. Here and there, been kind of searching for one. Last night, last minute kind of thing, this one popped up for sale. It's a Coates 7065 EX. Was 2 hours away for a really good deal. Condition kind of unknown. The guy said it worked when it wanted to, didn't work when it wanted to. And for me, it was worth picking it up and just seeing what was wrong with it and taking my chances. So let's see what we can figure out. So we got shop air hooked up to it, regulator all the way up to 110, 120 PSI. What I know works right now, the electric motor for the table works in both directions. So that's a good plus. The bead breaker, it works. We're able to break a bead on a tire, but it is very, very slow. And it doesn't sound like that air is really flowing to it. Same thing with the clamps. They work, but they don't seem super powerful, and they're really slow. With 120 PSI, I'd imagine it's something it would do a little bit more than just that. Also, the inflator valve is really the only thing at this point that is acting like it's got really good air pressure going to it. We're gonna take a look. There's a bunch of hose clamps and stuff like that that are kind of loose. There's some dry rotted hoses. Just want to try to see where we're at to get started, and piece by piece, hopefully we can get this thing working. So the two things that have good air pressure is the inflator and the bead seater. Those work great. It seems like everything else that is auxiliary on this end down here is really slow. The extra arm up top, that one works, and it has really small lines, so it's slow, so that makes sense. It's all the stuff down here that seems really slow. We know there's an issue with the oiler because there's no actual reservoir hooked up to it. So that being said, I don't know if years and years of bad air getting in there without any oil causing any issues. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna work on the bead breaker valve, because that's simple first. And we're just gonna pop these lines off and see what kind of air is coming out of the valve. If we got bad air coming out of the valve, then we know we gotta start, further down the line to see where we're losing air pressure from. The air pressure coming out of here, it is some kind of nasty, oily air, which is okay. I'd rather have air than water. I'm just gonna go straight to this line with a blowgun and see if it works really slow off of this, which we know has good flow through it. Then we know that it could just be something in that cylinder that's kind of plugged up. It's been years since I've used one, but that thing seems way too slow.
It's already all the way in.
So this should make that extend out. And this one should pull it in.
We probably should have got it before, but that is way faster.
We didn't get it before?
I don't believe so.
I think we did. You'll find out when you get it. It works. We're able to break a bead on a tire, but it is very, very slow, and it doesn't sound like that air is really flowing to it. Same. All right, so this is good because this means that there's nothing wrong with the cylinder, because that is definitely how fast it's supposed to go. So there could be something up with the valve or the air supply going to it. So that's what we're going to work on next, and just kind of break down one problem at a time. So plugged in air with both lines disconnected. That valve, or sorry, that port on that valve is what extends the cylinder back out. So with that always having air pressure going to it, oh, hold on. No, wait a second.
Because it sits out.
It sits out. Hold on.
Hang on, plug it back in. Let me hit the foot pedal.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So both lines are cut off. We hooked up air. Everything feels like we got good volume coming out of these lines. We actuated the foot pedal quite a few times, and then I just held the hose up to the fitting, and it actuated way quicker than it did before.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in there. Let's try to get the other one out and we can test it. So I got both the mufflers out. Hard to get a good picture or video of inside it, so you just have to take my word. We have not tested it yet, just to be clear, but we got good air coming out of here. This is dirty on the outside because that thing's dirty, and there's not a lot of air that comes out of that one. There's a little bit more air that comes out of that one, but these should be free flowing. If air can't get out of the cylinder, you can't fill the cylinder up with air. So let's get this thing hooked up and give it a shot. Take one. Yeah, that's so much quicker. Let's seat the bead on this tire. We're gonna re-brake it. Alright, first problem solved. Let's figure out if the same thing is let's figure out if the same problem that we just found with the bead breaker is the same thing with here. Leave a comment down below what you think. Alright, so may not be completely right. There is no muffler on the bottom of this valve like the other ones, but this one does have the oiler set up to it, so there may be something else weird going on. We're going to take the same action that we did on the other one of pulling the lines off and then manually actuating them with the air line to see what's going on. The air does go through this little rotary union trunnion up here. It could be something blocked, some O-rings going bad in there, so we're just going to pull it apart one hose at a time and see what's going on. I pulled up the parts diagram, and both valves for both the... Sorry, that's not right. This valve on the parts diagram shows there being two mufflers at the bottom, not a petcock. So I opened the petcock and actuated the pedal. Goes in. Goes out. And you just find the neutral position in the valve, and that's it.